We had a very cold morning in the tent and a cold night back at the kennels. I get the message that it was minus 22 at the kennel, and that's normally warmer. So I think at least 25 Celsius minus where we stayed last night.
We are Stina and Matti. We run a lifestyle company in the north of Swedish Lapland. For living, we work as nature guides and dog mushers. This is our life, our dream and our home. You're welcome to follow us on the journey.
Now we have traveled with the dogs down to Purkiar, and we follow one of our tracks around the Pine Island, Holmgren. In summertime it's very nice for taking a bath here, but right now it's colder. It's actually no problem now, but I didn't enjoy, and I know that most of us didn't enjoy the night in the sleeping bags. Actually, it was a little bit cold. I don't know why. Sometimes you can stay in a sleeping bag and it's minus 35 and it's no problem. Other time minus 15 and it's colder. So last night was not the best night in the world, but it was not the worst either. Now I can see the sun coming up over the horizon slowly. It will just popping up and popping down, and it will not be, the whole sun will not come over the horizon either. So behind me I have Louis, TT, Sonja and Omar. So it's the second day that they're driving dog sleds in their life, I think. And maybe the first night in minus 25 degrees or 30 degrees cold in the tent. Shit. I just switched off the camera and the sun is already down. See, the sun is already down. I just saw it for 1-2 minutes. Now it's gone. Sunset and sunrise at the same time. Now we're aiming for the Pearl River. We are crossing the Purkiar and then we follow the Pearl River upstreams to a place where we will have lunch. That's the place where usually our colleagues Karin and Juha making their dog sled tours. They have a trail, so now we will coming into their trail system. But we have already crossed the trail and I have seen that they are not out today. But sometimes it's fun to meet each other on the trail too.
I just figured even if it's weak, it's
Now we're having lunch here at the Pearl River.
I think it's good to go. I'll give it a try.
The temperature is dropping again, the sun is gone and the moon is popping up. It's actually quite cold now. It's not. I feel my toes, and when I hold the camera it's cold. I had to warm up the battery. It must be lower than 25. Anyway, not super warm and cozy, but we're having coffee and eating, and now we try to just going straight back to the camp and making fire in the tent. This is cold. The dogs are doing fine and the trail is super nice, and we see a lot of tracks from elks and also seen otter tracks and reindeer and foxes and hare. Back to the fire. Was it good, the sandwich?
Yeah.
But it's difficult to make them really hot.
Yeah, it was a little bit cold on one side, but the other side was fine.
Yeah.
I think the side was in the fire.
Omar, do you get warm hands
Yeah.
from the fire?
Oh yeah. It's so nice. With that moon, it's impossible to see aurora, no?
No, it's not impossible.
Okay.
It could be aurora, but
Okay.
a little bit more. It needs to be stronger when it's full moon.
Okay.
The last heat from the fire before we take off. Yeah. Now we started again and heading back towards the camp. It's cold and the dog have a very good working temperature, so it's quite fast. Hopefully they will slow down a little bit. And maybe there is some elks also. Whoops. Close to the river here, to the Pearl River. We have seen a lot of fresh elk tracks on the way up. Now I stopped and waiting for my group. It's on the other side. They're coming on the lake, and luckily they have better shoes than me. We borrow them shoes, and luckily they get better shoes than me because they get the real winter boots. I have also winter boots. I have Björn winter boots. It's a kind of leather shoe like this, but when it's super cold they get stiff and not really nice. So if I had known that it should be so cold, I had taken another pair of boots for me also. Now we are back at the tent camp, and Stina texts me that it's 26 degrees cold at home, so probably it's colder here. Quite icy, but I already started the fire in the stove in the tent, and now we're undressing the dogs, and we will have quite warm and cozy inside very soon. First some work to do outside. Sonja have played with the axe, and I think we should amputate that finger. And we maybe had to burn it
Before it gets infected, yeah.
before it gets infected. You should warm the glue.
Yeah.
Hold the hand over it, and then no, the other hand, not burning also.
No, just heat
Because
up
the
an
glue
iron,
is frozen, and then it needs to be a little bit warm.
get the scissors and just put them on.
Yeah.
And then just seal it.
I just don't want.
And then we actually have the biggest problem here. That's the glue vine that's frozen, and the bottom is out. But we have some wine specialists from France here, and they say it's no glass in that.
That will work.
That will work. But the problem is that it's no alcohol in it, that's why it freezes. So you should have really strong alcohol.
Next time.
Next time.
Tell me when to stop.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
Pasta with tomato sauce and some sausage for non-vegetarian and some cheese. This is the hardest part of the whole.
This night will not be long.
This night will not. It's only 3 hours pumping up the mat.
Okay.
You,
What's wrong?
yeah,
It's
I think
yeah.
I think I should show you.
You didn't.
You know Schadenfreude?
Yeah.
You take it like this.
Yes.
You close it with a hand,
Yeah, I do.
and then squeeze out. You see if you get pressure in this tube. Yeah.
How long does it take?
If you do it correctly, it's faster. If you Omar, how does it work?
I don't know. I feel like it's just sucking the
I must film you, Omar. It's you pumping up that thing.
I feel like I'm pumping it up or just circulating air within it.
Anyway, this is also kind of activity.
Yeah.
Better than
So straight. It's going down.
Yeah.
Like there.
Yeah,
Like
it's not
I don't understand this.
Titi, is it just you sitting up and sleeping tonight?
Yeah, you see how I'm falling off here?
Why?
Yeah. See, every time I put my legs up, it just slowly falls.
How are you? It's actually quite cold outside, 25 maybe, and you're sitting here and laughing.
Yes.
Titi, stand up and sleeping. Okay, now is the second day over and it's time for bed. It has been super cold today, I think under 30 degrees or down to 30 degrees Celsius. But now it's a little bit cloudy again and it's warmer. So I think it's 20 something, maybe 20 here. And now I will enter the sleeping bag, going back into the tent, fill up the stove with firewood, and then down to my cozy sleeping bag. Yeah. It's a new day tomorrow. Not so cold and probably snowing again. We'll see.